Nobody wins when the family feels.
We have breaking news out of Opelousas as we come on the air tonight. The Christmas holiday tragically ruined by gunfire in Opelousas. Police found a man dead inside of a home in the 900 block of South Railroad Street.
Time in a very long time. In regards to his past, he still was a good person. And it's just, you know, when you go ahead and kill somebody, you don't realize you're taking away from their family.
Just had come home. He was happy to do better with himself, changed his life, had devoted his life to God. And the sad thing about it is he wanted to do better with himself after coming back home.
Break out from a state facility. 5 teens who may be dangerous escaped from the Bridge City Juvenile Jail in Jefferson Parish.
People y'all should keep in custody.
You're correct. I mean, I'm responsible, Chris. I mean, I am 100% responsible for this.
Well, more breaking news to tell you about involving Opelousas police tonight. Officers saying they've just made an arrest for a Christmas slaying. 18-year-old Abraham Goodley was taken into custody just a few hours ago. He's jailed tonight on a murder charge.
Family, a couple days ago, we did a story about a Louisiana man who lost his life only a day after Christmas. But this was allegedly a dangerous man, a man that would take your life and tell on you. Less than 24 hours ago, local authorities were making arrests in connection to the 39-year-old who lost his life the day after Christmas. And the guy who was arrested wasn't even half his age, just 18. But imagine having enemies everywhere. Imagine snitching on a man that saved your life. And that was the case for this 39-year-old. If you guys need to check out the last video, check the link in the bio. Because the best friend he told on twice come home later this year. But without going too fast, let's try to break this down, family. A lot of people don't think. They might be smart in the streets, but not smart in real life. And I'm not saying that they give an opinion. Now imagine being responsible for someone losing their life in this one area. Being responsible for telling on your best friend in the same area. Getting arrested, telling on them, coming home, getting back arrested. So now you know what they try to do? Pay the young ones to come up under them. Think they don't care about what's going on because you feeding them. But respect goes way further than the currency value. Because you can't always pay for your love. But someone who have love for someone gonna always want get back. Then the man we about to talk about who lost his life that we talked about in the first story, it was later found out he wasn't even robbed. It wasn't a forced entry in the trap house that the family claimed that they gave him. But also, he was spit on. He was spit on by an 18-year-old. A man who already had juvenile life but was home on a home pass for the holidays. Don't ask me. I don't know how. But on top of that, this teenager broke out of the juvenile facility just a year before. So to be able to get a home pass the following year is crazy. But this where we at. And while on that home pass, a juvenile took the opportunity to take your life the day after Christmas. Not to mention, you was only home for a couple days. A man who was home for a couple days and a juvenile home on a home pass for the holidays is in a trap house. Nothing is taken. More or less it looked like he had a ticket on his head, especially knowing the man he told on comes home this year. He might not even have a ticket. Fam, you know with the streets, it's this thing called respect, rank. They do anything for that sometimes. And a man coming back in the same area he was arrested 8 years ago, not released more than 2 weeks, already back in the trap, known snitch, and to take your life. He might have just been a target from the gate. So before we go over this one, remember, I won't give you no angle. I just give you the story. So with that being said, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. We're going to jump right to it. On January 3rd, 2024, around 12:39 p.m., 18-year-old Abraham Goodley was taken into custody in connection with the demise of John Davis Jr. Now, as we mentioned, according to court documents, 18-year-old Abraham was home before making the transition to the free world on a home pass for serving juvenile life. He caught a body at just 13 years old, and because he was so young, a lot of information wasn't disclosed to the public. According to his documents, his alias is AB. Now, AB made headlines just last year, where he was one of 5 teens who broke out the juvenile facility in Louisiana. The teens had stole a truck after escaping by robbing a woman.
It's to break out from a state facility. 5 teens who may be dangerous escaped from the Bridge City Juvenile Jail in Jefferson Parish. News 2's Nick Perlin is here now with the latest.
Sylvia, 4 of the 5 teens are back in custody tonight. One remains on the run, but the latest escape raises questions about why this keeps happening.
Law enforcement's getting very frustrated every time that they have to go out and search for people y'all should keep in custody.
You're correct. I mean, I'm responsible, Chris. I mean, I am 100% responsible for this.
Weeks after telling the WBRZ investigative unit he takes full responsibility for escapes happening under his watch, Juvenile Justice Secretary Bill Summers is once again avoiding on-camera interviews. That was Summers hours after he canceled an interview with us last month.
One escape is too many.
But Thursday morning, it happened again. 5 juveniles broke out of the Bridge City Center for Youth near New Orleans in the middle of the night, climbing through an attic. 3 of the juveniles stole a truck before they were captured this afternoon on I-49, a little north of Lafayette.
We're putting all kinds of security measures in place, Chris. I mean, we're doing the absolute best we can from what we have to work with. And so we're putting security measures in at every facility that we have.
Those security measures did not work Thursday morning. One of those teens who broke loose is a recent escapee who was recaptured not long ago. The WBRZ investigative unit exposed the number of incidents involving juvenile escapees more than doubled last year compared to previous years statewide. With more problems tonight, the public can only wonder if the changes Summers told us about actually happened. We called OJJ for comment on the situation, but they did not get back to us. We will continue to update you on this developing story on our website. Nick Perlin, WBRZ News 2.
Now at that time, AB was just 17 years old. But the following year, his life sentence would end after he turned 18. So they gave him a home pass for a couple of months over the holidays to try to help his transition. And over the holidays, an older man from his neighborhood, what they call the South, 39 years old, John Davis Jr., came home after serving 8 years on December 16, 2023. A day after Christmas, he was gunned down early morning on a 900 block of South Railroad Street. Now, as folks say, they gave him that trailer, but according to neighbors who reached out after the video, that was a known trap spot that used to belong to John Davis Jr.'s grandmother before she passed away. May she rest in peace. The news report mentioned no forced entry, and on top of that, John Davis Jr. was gunned down inside the home.
We have breaking news out of Opelousas as we come on the air tonight. The Christmas holiday tragically ruined by gunfire in Opelousas. Police found a man dead inside of a home in the 900 block of South Railroad Street. News 15's Dracar Francois. He spoke with the victim's loved ones in the neighborhood where the shooting took place.
The family tells me John Davis was shot and killed in the home you see right here behind me after being released from prison just over a week ago.
And the hardest thing for me to do was to call my daughter that just saw him at her basketball game and broke down when she saw him. You know, for me to call her and tell her that he's gone was just tough for me.
The Opelousas police responded to 918 South Railroad Street, which was where the Davis family bought John a home after spending 8 years in prison and being released on December 16th. John's sister, Chastity Davis, says the family is struggling after this happened to her brother.
He was able to spend Christmas with us for the first time in a very long time. Regardless of his past, he still was a good person. And it's just, you know, when you go ahead and kill somebody, you don't realize you're taking away from their family.
Davis also says the family was working to get John back on his feet. The family gave this mobile home to John and were helping him find a job after being released from prison. Opelousas Alderman Marvin Richard, a friend of the Davis family, says John did not deserve this.
He just had come home. He was happy to do better with himself, change his life, had devoted his life to God. And the sad thing about it is he wanted to do better with himself after coming back home.
Now, the family also says there wasn't any signs of force of entry here at the home you see right here behind me. And the family also believes that the person that did this to John knew him. In Opelousas, Dracar Francois, News.
But it seemed a clue would break according to authorities after a man's DNA of saliva was found on Davis Jr. After sending that sample to the lab, A couple days later, January 3rd, 2024, that DNA would make a match to a teenager who was home on a home pass.
Well, more breaking news to tell you about involving Opelousas police tonight. Officers saying they've just made an arrest for a Christmas slaying. 18-year-old Abraham Goodley was taken into custody just a few hours ago. He's jailed tonight on a murder charge. It stems from the death of a man inside a home at 918 South Railroad Street in Opelousas. Now, the victim, 39-year-old John Davis, had just moved into the home after spending 8 years in prison. He was released on December 16th, only to be killed 10 days later.
This was a crazy story. As more developed, I keep you guys updated. But we're talking about a teen who now about to be incarcerated for the rest of his life, possibly since the age of 13. Then you talk about a man who told on his best friend on a body he'd take a plea about to come home. That same year, he lose his life a day after Christmas, only 10 days since his release. Rest in peace to all the victims. Love and condolences to the families. Fam, let me know how you guys feel about this one in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Until then, I'll catch you guys on the next one.